Call of Duty Black Ops 4 was released in October of 2018 and was the first Call of Duty to not feature a standard single-player campaign. Instead, it focused strictly on multiplayer, zombies, and the then relatively new Battle Royale mode called Blackout. This was a massive change to the series, and in some cases it worked out, mainly with the Battle Royale mode, but outside of that, I think they failed on most other parts of the game. This video is going to be rather negative, so I want to say that up front, but I did enjoy some of my time when playing online in the regular multiplayer, but outside of that, I felt this game to be extremely underwhelming when returning back to it. I originally bought this game shortly before Modern Warfare 2019 came out, because I kept watching videos of people playing Blackout. The entire time, I enjoyed what I saw, and after buying it, I remember having fun for a little bit when I played. But then the behemoth of Modern Warfare came out, and I never touched this game again until I started working on this video. Initially, I was extremely disappointed with the lack of single-player campaign in this game, which is why I didn't buy it in 2018. I felt $60 for a game that was missing the main reason that I play games to be bad. I still think that this price was too high for this game, and the expanded zombie mode didn't help either to me. But the shooting was as tight as ever, and eventually I caved and bought it when it went on sale for around $30 last year. The first thing I did when booting this game up was to immediately jump into Blackout. Unfortunately, not as many people were still playing this as there used to be, especially compared to Warzone and Modern Warfare, or say PUBG. I usually waited around 3 to 4 minutes for the lobby to fill up when playing solos, and was a bit shorter when trying to do squads. Let me also mention here that I'm not the best when it comes to first-person shooters, especially Battle Royales. I can hold my own pretty well online and do alright in Warzone, but when it came to Blackout, I did awful. Perhaps people just always got the drop on me and also know way more about the map, but I don't think I ever got more than one kill when playing Blackout. I didn't expect too much, but even on a bad game of Warzone, I can still manage at least 3 kills. So this mode immediately wasn't fun to jump back into here in 2020. I know this mode is still extremely popular, and I really like the setup for it. For those who don't know, Blackout is a tad different than other Battle Royale games, but still pretty similar to PUBG. You drop down into a map without a weapon, and have to scavenge some all while being on the lookout for other players. In this, it is you against usually 99 other players. You can also pick up weapon attachments, armor, and even some perks to use for a short period of time. This is what makes this mode stand out over the others, and also the cleanliness of gathering loot off a kill, as it all comes out in a duffel bag. I can't say too much more about Blackout, as usually by this point after my first kill, I'll walk around some and eventually die, or mess up pretty harshly when trying to kill someone. And again, I know I'm not the greatest, but with this capture setup, I feel that there may be a tad bit of latency which caused me to mess up a few shots that seemed directly accurate, but this could also be me making excuses. The matches I did with some randoms and quads didn't work out so well either, but those were mostly my fault for not playing well. Before I talk about the multiplayer of this game, I want to talk some about the Specialist HQ. This is essentially the entire single player of the game, and it is god awful to me. You start off with a decent cutscene explaining the world, kind of, and some of the characters, kind of. And then you're introduced to a returning character, Woods. This is also the point where I almost turned the game off, as I can't stand a single thing Woods says during this entire part of the game.
Oh shit! What a mess! Better tip the housekeeper. Nice technique, don't you love it? Water in your boots, sand in your pants. No, you do not get to pee in the pool.
You then pick a specialist, watch their intro cutscene showing off what they can do. Then you're in a multiplayer map using their tools, about 5 times too many. It felt extremely tedious. I understand you gotta get in the player's head, but this is a Zelda amount of repetition. After you complete the tedium of tasks with the specialist, you then get to see a small cutscene, usually about the character doing something random every single time, and then you're doing a multiplayer match of bots. This is probably the best part of Specialist HQ. This lets you practice some online modes more easily, as well as get to use the skills against rather poor AI. It gets the job done. After this match, you are then rewarded with another slice of the story, an extremely short cutscene that is practically nothing. You then repeat this about 9 more times until you use everyone and get 99% of the story. There is still a tiny bit more to unlock if you complete some other task. This to me feels like they wanted to essentially copy Rainbow Six Siege, but make it rather garbage at the same time. Perhaps the humor, or whatever you want to call it, just doesn't work out on me. As you can tell, most of this area of the game felt extremely flat for me. It's smart that they included this, since the game is multiplayer only, but I wish they spent more time making it more enjoyable to play, and also remove Woods from this too. Before I get into the negatives of the multiplayer, let me first say that at times, it can be really fun. I really enjoy the fact that they reward the player more now, especially if assist. You feel more like you're progressing towards something, and even if you seem to be playing poorly, you can still help your team score. Also enjoy that you need to manually heal yourself after taking damage, as it can make some battles seem more challenging now. Now that I think about it, that is like the only things I can say positive about this multiplayer. I wish they kept the mobility of Black Ops 3. I guess this game technically takes place before that, but I'm not sure. It was fun being able to run around the map quickly and have to watch vertically more often when playing. It also loses some of the joy I have with World War II, but it could also be just because I enjoy those weapons more, not this future tech that can be a bit much at times. The map layouts in this game were also really good. You can flank around the enemies pretty well when needed, as well as have good sight lines and cover. There wasn't really a time in any of the maps that I felt like someone could have a major advantage on or camp either. I'm not sure how many of these maps were new or redesigned from previous games though. Each character has special skills, and both need to be charged up while playing. During my playtime, I always use one of the characters I believe is called Sparrow. She has a bow and also has a drone that can she put around to mark enemies. This is my favorite class in the game, and I had the most fun with her abilities. Then there are other ones that seem to go beyond overpowered. Mainly, the one where there's a sniper that can electrify enemies, making it impossible to do anything when hit, as well as a drone that stuns enemies if you don't press the button immediately, which why would you since you're constantly about to shoot someone else. Every time someone had this active, I basically was just screwed around until I ran out of ammo. I feel this was needed to be fixed, but apparently no one else agreed with that since it's still in the game. They also can electrify other enemies around you if you're too close to each other. This to me is the definition of overpowered. Then there is the zombies mode. I actually can't speak too much on this mode as I was only able to play one of the maps and I thought it was totally fine. I enjoyed it more than I did with World War II, and perhaps that could be due to my allies helping me progress through the levels. I only played the asylum level and I had no clue what was going on. I just followed everyone else and helped clear some zombies. Eventually I helped feed a demon wolf thing. I guess that was kinda cool. But we all eventually wiped out and that was the end of my zombies experience. I do remember the level on the boat being pretty cool, but I can't speak to that level here as I didn't get a chance to play it with others. Overall this mode is fine, but still not for me. I'm mostly disappointed going back to this game. I'm glad I did, and I did have some fun with the multiplayer at times, but to not have any fun at Blackout and to not be able to experience the zombie mode as intended, and to see the crappy specialist mode, this game was extremely underwhelming. But at least there were some fun moments online at times. I know playing zombies with friends is the way to go, but horde-like modes do not have that much staying power for me, especially with how many options there are out there. Plus, Left 4 Dead is still one of the best zombie co-op games ever made, and this doesn't even come close to the fun that those games gave me. Blackout is definitely a great mode, and a good foundation for what came later of Modern Warfare. It's just a shame that the player base is dying on it now, but I can definitely give merit where it's due. For my next video, we'll be taking a look at the behemoth of Modern Warfare. That game is by far my favorite in the series, and it'll be fun giving it a closer look. Feel free to subscribe and leave feedback, and I'll see you in the next one.